We getting you up out of here. No check, no vote. That means no check, no job.
This simpleton, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's safe to say that this individual is not only politically low IQ, but I think intellectually, he's also low IQ. I think, his elevator doesn't go to the top. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's a few clowns short of a circus. I mean, there's many ways to describe this person. Besides Al Green.
Yesterday, you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote.
What?
And he's talking about how it's basically, for lack of better words, a trick bag. It's a trick bag family.
We also have legislation for what we call a Department of Reconciliation. We have to reconcile our differences. And this goes beyond African Americans, the Trail of Tears, what happened to the Japanese internments. We've got to reconcile our differences. So we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, just as we have a Secretary of Education, a Secretary of Labor. We need a Secretary of Reconciliation who will report directly to a president, not this president, directly to a president. And the job would be to reconcile our differences, and that reconciliation for me, I say this with no shame, no embarrassment. I am unapologetically black. And I say this, that would include reparations for the 240 years of free labor that people still benefit today from, and that we were locked out of opportunities along the way while they were benefiting.
So anything would pass this House or this Senate, right? Not that anything would pass the Congress to begin with. And, Al Green makes a point of saying that. But it makes it easier for them to stomach this because it's not specifically helping black people as opposed to the Atonement or H.R. 40. And you have to understand, in a country that you believe and know to be anti-black, I don't know why you expect that. It's this concept that they want someone to come out like a presidential candidate and be like, I'm going to give reparations for black people. Like, what planet would a president of an anti-black country come out and say that or even run off of that? That's not going to happen. We saw how Kamala tried to say, hey, I believe there needs to be a form of reparations. Hey, we need to have a black man agenda. And they scoffed at that. And, that's why, I would agree with, and we're going to get to that, when Al Sharpton talks about them being agents, because that's exactly agent behavior. It's always holding water for Republicans while castigating Democrats. Democrats bad, Democrats bad. I'm not a Republican, but Democrats bad, right? And it's like, you an agent. That's what you are. You're an agent of chaos, division. That's what you're doing. Then he goes on to talk about, we got to cut the check. This foolishness. Y'all got to cut the check. Okay, during midterms, y'all either cut the check or, we not voting, right? And then he goes on to say that, Biden's a racist, Kamala's a racist, Trump's a racist, that, both parties are racist.
No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you don't have our money, you don't get our vote.
This is a sick Negro.
Now, Lord in heaven, I would argue this is another reason, side note, that I would be pro-abortion. Okay, I mean, genuinely, Al Sharpton comes out and says is that, hey, this is agent behavior, because where are you going to get the reparations from, right? You have to vote people into office that are going to be voting to give you this check.
But you get provocateurs, because anybody that is talking to somebody younger than them holding the mic, then you know that they paid agents. Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them.
So if they're both racist, if you're saying Republicans are racist, Democrats are racist, it's the same bird and everything. If that's what you're saying, then what are you complaining about, fam? Then who's cutting this check? If they're both anti-black racists, who's cutting this check? Duh, right?
So you can, on one hand, say, but don't vote for everybody, they racist, but I want reparations. Who gonna pay you?
Someone cooked here.
So either you paid or you stupid or both.
Damn! This is the foolishness. This is the hustle of these agents, of these provocateurs. They are nothing more than right-wing MAGA agents. That's all they are. It has nothing to do with holding Democrats accountable. It has nothing to do with engaging in civics, nothing to do with engaging in politics. It all boils down to, ironically enough, the white ignorance and the Neanderthal mindset, except instead of black person bad, white person good, they're going Democrat bad, Republican good. Beta. That's their concept. You even have one of their Simple Simons, their Sambo soldiers talking about, well, Trump ain't never done nothing against black people, okay? Trump never done nothing against us. And it's like, bruh, what are you talking about, bruh? They have the Republican Party who came out with a bill trying to completely remove and stop any and all reparations. Now, who do you think that's addressed to? Who do you think that's targeting, huh? Who is asking right now for reparations? Black Americans are descendants of chattel slavery. That's who. That's the party he represents. Tuberville talking about, hey, they want to give reparations to the criminals. That's the party he represents. But y'all want to tap dance and follow the Pied Piper, listening to absolute low IQ, just babble. Yet we have got to become higher IQ politically speaking. We have got to be able to see just idiocy for what it is. Now, instead of not voting, because not voting doesn't get you anything. You not showing up to play in the game doesn't get you a W, all right? The other team wins by default. It's the same thing that I was telling Yvette Carnell before she blocked me. You can try and act like you're not Republican and you're not Democrat, you independent, but if you're advocating for people to not vote, if you're constantly criticizing and agitating the party that you believe owes you something, but without any forms of engagement, what you are doing by default by not voting is that is a vote. That is a tacit vote for the Republican. That is a tacit vote for Trump. Every person who is saying sit on the couch, or I'm going to vote the couch and all that, that is a vote for Donald Trump, who in fact won. They constantly want to talk about, my ancestors. Your ancestors, were engaged in the political system. They were engaged in the political system to try and force it to do right by them. And in return, you Negroes is talking about hashtag cut the check, and you don't even know who your representatives are, right? You don't know what bills are going through Congress. You don't know how bills are even passed through Congress. You don't know what committees are out there, but you want hashtag cut the check, and both parties are racist. Now, when it comes to Al Sharpton or anyone else, you have got to hold them accountable. This is something I said during the last election when I heard these goofballs talking about, collard greens in the bathtub. On what planet does collard greens in the bathtub have to do with reparations? Huh? What planet does that have to do with tangibles? What does that have to do with, healthcare, education, any of that? That's what I saw. I was like, this is agent behavior. Got you. This is straight out of COINTELPRO. This is government apparatus. That's what this is. How do you go from tangibles to delineation? How do you go from something tangible to talking about, I just want to be called by a different word? Huh? Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, you a tether. No, that tether babble. Okay, no, we gonna demand. We gonna demand the check. That's what we gonna do. Okay, that's what we gonna do. Or if you believe, who you demanding it from, fam? What power do you have demanded from? Huh? The vote? You mean the vote that you said you're not gonna vote? Is that the power? And then you want to be upset with both parties bringing in immigrants who at least in many cases can swing either or based off the last few elections? Huh? Y'all are playing yourselves. That's what's happening. Y'all are listening to agents, and it's insane that an actual agent has to tell you, yeah, that's an agent behavior. So y'all do you, bro. Y'all do. All I can do is, lead a horse to water. Can't force it to drink. All right. Hey, even the scripture says, hey, you have a choice between life and death. For all you low IQ people out there, he even gives you the answer. Choose life. If you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, Disagreement Day. Number on screen, you call in, we duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share,